During this year's Le Mans, 62 cars will take to the legendary Circuit de la Sarthe. This event will include 15 different kinds of cars, 14 car manufacturers, and over 30 different teams. So in this video, I will be joined by fellow endurance racing content creator GT Rain, as we break down each and every car manufacturer, team, and individual entry for the upcoming 2024 24 Hours of Le Mans. Starting off with the WEC's flagship category of the Hypercar class. The category will feature a record-breaking 23 cars on the grid, which includes 9 manufacturers present. These brands consist of Toyota, Porsche, Ferrari, Cadillac, BMW, Peugeot, Lamborghini, Alpine, and Isotta Fraschini. Alpine is making their return to the 24 Hours of Le Mans for the first time since 2022, when they ran the A480 in the Hypercar class as a grandfathered LMP1 car. Alpine has won this classic event before, back in 1978, under the Renault Alpine branding with the A442. On their return, Alpine is bringing their brand new LMDH prototype, the A424, with the Alpine Endurance team running the operation and 2 cars, the number 35 and number 36 Alpines. On to BMW, who are making their return to Le Mans as a brand new manufacturer in Hypercar with the M Hybrid V8. This LMDH car marks BMW's return to top-level endurance racing competition at Le Mans for the first time since 1999, when of course they won the classic event with the V12 LMR. BMW's M Hybrid V8 will be run by Team WRT. For this race, the Belgian squad are bringing the 2 full-season BMW entries, badged as the number 15 and number 20 cars. It's also worth mentioning that the number 20 BMW will run a special art car livery, while the number 15 will run the traditional WEC livery. In 2024, Cadillac is back in the Hypercar class to achieve overall victory at Le Mans for the first time. With Glickenhaus no longer present, Cadillac remains the only American manufacturer in the top class at Le Mans. The naturally aspirated 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 engine returns with the V Series R as Cadillac field 3 cars on the grid. The team Chip Ganassi Racing will run 2 entries during Le Mans. These are the number 2 blue-nosed Cadillac and the number 3 yellowish gold-nosed Cadillac. The third entry, like in 2023, will be run by Action Express Racing. This is the number 311 red-nosed Whelen Engineering Cadillac, which also competes over an IMSA badged as the number 31 car. So obviously Cadillac are well prepared for Le Mans as these 3 V Series R entries take to the track in 2024. Reigning Le Mans winners Ferrari will be returning to the iconic French event in 2024 with the 499P Hypercar. The Italian marque is looking to defend the Le Mans crown after winning the event last time out in 2023 with the number 51 car. This year, Ferrari is bringing 3 cars to challenge for their 11th win of Le Mans, and running them will be the team AF Corse. The 499Ps on the grid include the 2 factory cars, which are the red Ferraris. These are the number 50 and 51 cars. The latter, of course, won Le Mans last year. And then new to Le Mans this year is the yellow number 83 Ferrari. This is a customer entry from AF Corse. New to the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year is Isotta Fraschini. The recently revived Italian manufacturer is brand new to prototype endurance racing, but they definitely have the ambition to succeed. Isotta Fraschini is bringing the Tipo 6 LMH Competizione, and running their Le Mans Hypercar at this event, as well as the full season of the WEC, is European Le Mans Series French team Duquesne. For Le Mans this year, there will be 1 Isotta Fraschini Hypercar on the grid. This is the number 11 entry. Like Isotta Fraschini, Lamborghini is also making their debut in the top class at Le Mans this year. Lamborghini will be bringing their brand new LMDH prototype, the SC63, to challenge for overall honors at the classic event. For Le Mans exclusively, Lamborghini will bring 2 SC63s, with the Italian team Iron Lynx running the operations. The 2 entries in this race include the full season number 63 Lamborghini and the Le Mans exclusive number 19 Lamborghini. Interestingly, the number 19 car is actually the IMSA variant of the SC63, which is run by Iron Lynx in the GTP class. Another manufacturer returning to Le Mans in the Hypercar class is Peugeot. The French brand is bringing an updated 9X8 which has never raced at Le Mans before. This updated version, which includes a rear wing, was introduced at Imola 2 races ago in this year's WEC, and hopefully it will allow Peugeot to secure a successful result. Just like last year, the Peugeot Total Energies team will once again bring 2 entries, the number 93 and number 94 cars. The German manufacturer Porsche is also returning to Le Mans this year, with a 963 that looks very competitive. Out of all the manufacturers in Hypercar, Porsche will bring the most cars, with a staggering total of 6 963s on the grid. 3 of the entries are the factory Porsche Penske Motorsport cars. These are the number 4, number 5, and number 6 entries. The other cars are customer Porsches. 2 of them are from Hertz Team Jota. These are the number 12 and number 38 Porsches. And then there's one other entry from Proton Competition. This is the number 99 Porsche. Rounding off the Hypercar field is Toyota. The Japanese marque looks to reclaim the crown of Le Mans from Ferrari as the GR010 makes its return to the iconic Circuit de la Sarthe. Toyota's new matte black livery will also make its first appearance at Le Mans, as both Le Mans Hypercars will be decked in this color scheme. Like years prior, the team of Toyota Gazoo Racing will once again enter 2 entries, the number 7 and the number 8. Moving on to the field of LMP2, which is a class exclusive for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The category will feature 16 entries this year, spread across 13 different teams. It's also important to know that every entry in LMP2 will be using a Gibson-powered Oreca 07 chassis. And so when I do the rundown, instead of going by manufacturer, I'll go by team. First up is AF Corsa, the team that runs the Ferrari 499Ps. AF Corsa is bringing 1 Oreca 07 entry. This is the number 183 car. Algarve Pro Racing is also on the grid, running 2 entries, the number 25 and number 45. The number 45 is actually the CrowdStrike by APR entry, and it got invited to Le Mans because it won the Asian Le Mans Series LMP2 title. Another team on the grid is AO Racing by TF Sport, and they're bringing 1 entry. This is the number 14 car. But this is no ordinary LMP2 because it has the livery of Spike the Dragon. This is AO Racing's fun livery on their LMP2 entry that competes over in IMSA. And even though Rexy is not at Le Mans this year, Spike will be. Also on the grid this year is Cool Racing. The successful team based in Switzerland is running 2 entries at Le Mans, the number 37 and the number 47. This team has a good shot at taking the win, especially the number 37 car, as it's already taken success in 2024 by winning the 4 Hours of Barcelona in the European Le Mans Series. A lot of the entries on the grid are from ELMS, and look no further than another one from DKR Engineering. The Luxembourg squad, which has a big history in endurance racing events, will bring 1 car to the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year, which is the number 33 LMP2. Returning to the LMP2 class at Le Mans this year is Team Duquesne. Alongside their participation in the Hypercar category with Isotta Fraschini, Duquesne will once again field an LMP2 car, which is badged as the number 30 entry. In fact, this car granted Duquesne a podium at Le Mans last time out in 2023, and a question that's on my mind is, will this car be able to repeat or better that result here in 2024? Also back at Le Mans is IDEX Sport. The French team, which qualified on the LMP2 pole last time out in 2023, is once again fielding an LMP2 car, this being the number 28 entry, and considering Hertz Team Jota is not an LMP2 this year, IDEX Sport is allowed to use that number. An LMP2 class at Le Mans wouldn't feel the same without inter-Europol competition, and of course they're back in 2024. The Polish underdogs, who took a fantastic victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans last year in 2023, are back with a single LMP2 entry, this being the number 34 car. It's also worth pointing out that Inter-Europol did have a second entry badged as the number 43 car on the reserve list, but considering no one pulled out, this car didn't make the race. Full-time ELMS team Nielsen Racing will make an appearance at the 24 Hours of Le Mans with 1 entry, this being the number 24 car. This also goes the same for Panis Racing, another team returning to Le Mans this year with a single entry in LMP2, this being the number 65 car. A team making their debut in LMP2 this year is Proton Competition, fielding just one entry, the number 9 car. Proton Competition, alongside AF Corsa, are the only teams to field entries in all 3 categories at Le Mans. The number 9 car will feature a talented driver lineup, and one of the racers that's noteworthy is Bent Fiscal, who has been racing the Porsche 963 in the GTP category at Laguna Seca and Detroit. A team that I think has a strong chance of taking the win is United Autosports, who are bringing a 2-car effort to Le Mans in the LMP2 class. The number 22 and number 23 will both be appearing. United has also picked up a very talented and experienced driver lineup. One of the racers that some will immediately notice is Ben Keating. The American racer last won Le Mans in 2023 with Corvette and has been very successful, especially over in the IMSA Championship. The final team is Vector Sport. The British squad has entered a single LMP2 entry, and this is their iconic number 10 Oreca 07. So that completes things on Hypercar and LMP2, and I'll now pass things over to Chris at GT Rain, who will discuss things on LMGT3.
With the largest top class we've had at Le Mans since 1999, it's easy to see why the Hypercar category is taking a lot of the headlines going into this year's 24 hours. Equaling the count of 9 manufacturers, though, is the new LMGT3 class, with 23 cars of its own. 15 teams will represent Aston Martin, BMW, Corvette, Ferrari, Ford, Lamborghini, Lexus, McLaren, and Porsche in the fight for GT honors. Aston Martin has been a staple of GT racing at Le Mans since their GT1 debut in 2005. In fact, they're one of only 3 manufacturers in this year's race to not miss Le Mans since then, a record they share with only Ferrari and Porsche. This year, they'll be represented by their 2 full-time WEC entries, the Heart of Racing and D-Station Racing, in the number 27 and 777 Vantage AMR GT3 Evos. Aston Martin last won Le Mans in 2022 in the GTE AM class, and with some of their drivers likely being promoted to the Valkyrie Hypercar program next year, they'll be in the spotlight to replicate that result this year. Whilst Aston Martin has had their fair share of recent wins at Le Mans, the same can't be said for BMW, who hasn't stood on the podium since their overall win 25 years ago. This year, alongside their Hypercar program, Team WRT will be contesting the number 31 and 46 M4 GT3s in a bid to change that. BMW's legacy in GT racing at Le Mans lies with the big M8 memes that popped up around 5 years ago, and they haven't enjoyed much success with their previous outings in the M3 and M8 GTE cars. If there's one thing you can guarantee this year, it's that they'll be one of the fan favorites, with 7-time MotoGP champion Valentino Rossi making his Le Mans debut in car number 46, and tens of thousands of fans will descend on the circuit to see if he and BMW can turn that debut into a win. If you want to talk about staples at Le Mans, Corvette racing is definitely in the conversation, entering the race every year since 2000 with the sole exception of 2020. What's different this year, though, is the absence of Pratt & Miller's Corvette Racing, who have won this race 9 times, including the final GTE outing last year. This year, it's the longtime Aston Martin partner TF Sport racing the new Z06 GT3Rs with cars number 81 and 82. Corvette has been struggling with their new car this year, and TF Sport is no exception, currently sitting 13th and 15th in the LMGT3 championship. But performance in the North American racing programs has started to turn for the better. Couple that with the fact that TF Sport has been on the podium at Le Mans for the past 4 years, you can never count this pair out. If you believe success in numbers, look no further than Ferrari, who will have 5 296 GT3s in the LMGT3 fight at Le Mans this year. Scoring points for the championship will be the 2 full-season Vista AF Corsa entries, cars number 84 and 85. They'll be joined by 3 additional teams from the European Le Mans series. JMW Motorsport will be entering car 66 in their 15th 24 Hours of Le Mans since 2009, 14 of which were for Ferrari. GR Racing are running car number 86, switching to Ferrari for the first time after previously running Porsches in the GTE category. And Spirit of Race will be returning with car 155, including the notable addition of Jordan Taylor to their lineup, who will be making his first start in a car other than a Corvette at Le Mans. No matter which of the 5 entries it may be, Ferrari will be looking to continue their success from this year's Rolex 24 at Daytona and pick up the second 24-hour race of the year for their 296 GT3. Bread and butter, chips and salsa, it wouldn't be a perfect pair at Le Mans without Ferrari and Ford, who will also be making their return to the GT class for the first time since 2019. Where their last adaptation was of the ultra-rare $500,000 Ford GT, this year Ford has returned with the much more humble Mustang GT3, a car that may look a lot less exotic than some of its competition, but sure to be one of the fan favorites with its naturally aspirated V8 soundtrack. Proton Competition will be running both full season cars number 77 and 88, along with a one-off car number 44 in this year's 24 hours. Much like their American rivals, Corvette, Ford have struggled a bit this season with the Mustang GT3, but they also won on their last Le Mans debut in 2016, and with a team as strong as Proton backing the effort, you can never count them out. No Lamborghini has raced at Le Mans since 2010, and alongside their prototype debut in the Hypercar class, Iron Lynx will be entering two Huracan GT3 Evo 2s, cars number 60 and 83, the latter under the all-women Iron Dames outfit. Due to an unfortunate rib injury, Dorian Pan will have to sit out her home race in car number 83. She'll be replaced by full-time Iron Dames driver Rahel Fry. In the race's 100-year history, 65 women have started the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In 1975, the all-women team of Michelle Mouton, Marianne Hoffner, and Christine Decremont won the racing class, a feat that has not been repeated since. Nearly 50 years later, the Iron Dames may be in a position to do just that. With a win at the season finale in Bahrain last year, and a strong race last time out at Spa along with their sister car. Both Iron Lynx entries will be running special liveries at Le Mans this year as they become the fourth team along with AF Corsa, Proton Competition, and Team WRT to compete for both the Hypercar and GT class wins. Making their Le Mans debut this year is Lexus with the RCF GT3. Longtime Mercedes GT3 team Akotis ASP will be running both of their full season cars number 78 and 87. With full season driver Jose Maria Lopez replacing the injured Mike Conway in the number 7 Toyota, it'll be IMSA Lexus driver Jack Hawksworth stepping up as a third driver in car number 87. As the oldest GT car on the grid, Lexus have struggled heavily in the first three races of the WEC season, sitting in the bottom two positions in the championship, with only a single point between both cars. That being said, Lexus's parent Toyota knows a thing or two about winning here at Le Mans, so we'll see if they can turn those results around in the 24-hour race. McLaren has a short but successful history in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. After an overall win in 1995 with the F1 GTR, McLaren hasn't shown up to Le Mans since 1998. That changes this year, as the new GT3 regulations have provided the manufacturer with a place to enter one of their existing cars, the 720S GT3 Evo. Rather fittingly, it's United Autosports, co-owned by McLaren's Zach Brown, entering cars number 59 and 95 from the full WEC season. They'll be joined by Inception Racing coming over from the GTD class in IMSA with car number 70. Both McLaren and United Autosports have enjoyed individual successes at Le Mans, and Inception Racing has won the Michelin Endurance Cup in IMSA, so you have to look at this manufacturer as one of the strong contenders in this year's race. Finally, where would we be at Le Mans if we weren't talking about Porsche? The manufacturer that has more wins here than anybody else will have the two full-season Manthey Racing 911 GT3Rs vying for the class win. Car number 91 is entered under the Manthey EMA banner, and car number 92 is racing as Manthey Pure Racing. It may be surprising that there aren't more Porsche GT customer teams at Le Mans this year, with how many Porsche teams we've become used to seeing in the past. That being said, they may very well not be needed, as car 92 has been on the podium at the first three WEC races this season, and holds a massive 35-point lead in the championship already. And car 91 pulled off their first victory of the season last race out at Spa. No matter what way you look at it, Porsche may be the clear-cut favorites in LMGT3 this year. And there you have it, the 9 manufacturers, 15 teams, and 23 cars that will make up the LMGT3 class in this year's 24 Hours of Le Mans. With that, I'll turn it back to Jonah.
Thanks, Chris. You can check out his channel, GT Rain, with the link in the description down below. So out of all the subjects we've mentioned in this video, which entry, manufacturer, and team are you most excited to see compete at this year's edition of the 24 Hours of Le Mans? Well, make sure to post your thoughts down in the comments section. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, I suggest subscribing. The reason why is because I make endurance racing content mainly on WEC and IMSA every week. And if you want to watch more videos, there's options on your screen. But for now, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one.